Howdy, Lisa Neller here, your thinking partner for life's greatest challenges. And I wanted to share with you that over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be reviewing various parts of the book Atlas of the Heart by Brene Brown. And the reason I'm doing this is one, I want to learn more about it myself. Two, I want to help you understand your own language of the heart. And three, I want to prepare you for an upcoming workshop that I'm doing on February 13th, which is called Love Mastery, Elevating Your Relationship Game. So, leading up to that workshop, I want to talk about love and relationships and qualities of relationships and emotions and things like that that can help us navigate our relationships better. So I picked this book because it's all about using emotional language, like understanding the nuances of our emotions and maybe how we can better manage them. So Atlas of the Heart has a subtitle. It says Mapping Meaningful Connections and the Language of Human Experience. So here we go. I'm going to just start with chapter 1. And basically what I'm going to do is just share some highlights from the book and read you some excerpts that I think are important to know. There are 87 different emotions that Brene covers in this book. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go through each chapter and maybe pick one, two, or three. Like each chapter has 5, 6, or 7 different emotions that she covers or explores. And I'm only going to do a little bit of that because you can get the book and read it yourself if you want to. I'm just hoping to inspire you with a little bit of this information. And I'm going to start with page XXI, which is Roman numeral for 21, but it's like the preface of the book. And it says here, right, and I highlight all the important stuff. Language is our portal to meaning making, connection, healing, learning, and self-awareness. Having access to the right words can open up entire universes. When we don't have a language to talk about what we're experiencing, our ability to make sense of what's happening and share it with others is severely limited. So we want to broaden that muscle there and being able to have a greater understanding of what's happening between ourselves and others. Without accurate language, we struggle to get the help we need. We don't always regulate or manage our emotions and experiences in a way that allows us to move through them productively, and our self-awareness is diminished. Language shows us that naming an experience doesn't give the experience more power, it gives us the power of understanding and meaning. And when we have understanding and meaning, we can navigate these things much easier. Research shows that when our access to emotional language is blocked, our ability to interpret incoming emotional information is significantly diminished. So our ability to accurately recognize and label emotions is often referred to as emotional granularity. In the words of Harvard psychologist Susan David, learning to label emotions with a more nuanced vocabulary can be absolutely transformative. David explains that if we don't have a sufficient emotional vocabulary, it is difficult to communicate our needs and to get the support that we need from others. But those who are able to distinguish between a range of various emotions do much, much better at managing the ups and downs of ordinary existence than those who see everything in black and white. In fact, research shows that the process of labeling emotional experience is related to greater emotion regulation and psychological well-being. And this is great news for relationships. So we can learn to identify our emotions better, and we can learn to ask better questions, clarify information, and do those kinds of things, which will limit the conflict that we have to engage in, because most of us don't like conflict, but we go there. We tend to go there automatically when we're triggered, right? We get a trigger, we go to emotion, we don't even notice the emotion. We just bypass the emotion and we react, right? We do something. So let's see. So we want to learn to recognize emotions in our bodies. And I'm just shifting pages here to get to the next thing that I wanted to share. Okay, so Brene talks about emotions kind of being like a map. So a map is layered with all kinds of different things, right? Elevation levels, lakes and rivers and streams and roads and all of that stuff. And she says that human emotions and experiences are layers of biology, biography, behavior, and backstory. Okay, she said in order to recognize, name, and make some of our feelings and experiences, make sense of our feelings and experiences, we have to understand how they show up in our bodies and why. So an emotion shows up as a vibration in the body. When you're mad, it might go here, it might go here. When you're tense, it might go in your shoulders, like you'll feel an emotion. Number 2, get curious about how our families and communities shape our beliefs about the connection between our feelings, thoughts, and behavior. That's the biography. So the number 1 was the biology, number 2 is the biography. And then number 3 is to examine our go-to, and that's behaviors. What do we go to automatically when we are triggered by an event? And then recognize, and this is number 4, recognize the context of what we're feeling and thinking. Like what brought this on? So the context would be the backstory. So the takeaways from this chapter, now that's just an introductory chapter to the book, Atlas of the Heart, Mapping Out Meaningful Connections, and the Language of Human Experience. That's just an intro. The remaining chapters go into a variety of emotions that we feel when certain things happen. And I'll explain that in the next video. So the takeaways from this first chapter are that accurate language regarding our emotions leads to processing them, healing, learning, and greater self-awareness. And also, we need a more detailed understanding of our emotions as they are layered through many facets of our experiences. So that's an introduction, and then tomorrow I will cover a couple of emotions from the next chapter, and I will do that every day until February 13th when I have my workshop. If you're interested in the Love Mastery Workshop, Elevate Your Relationship Game, I will be putting it on my Facebook page a lot, so you'll see the registration link for that. It's free and it'll be recorded. So if you're interested in up-leveling your relationships, and not just your romantic ones, but the relationship between you and your kids, you and your family, you and your coworkers, that kind of thing, it could be beneficial to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.